Hey, good morning, friends. It's Julie. How's everybody doing? Wow, this is a nice haircut. I hope you guys are doing great. We just got back from the gym. It was a special 8:30 workout because it's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day today, and we are celebrating him. And I've been reading so many of his quotes today, and they're so impactful. Like, hate can't drive out hate. Only love can drive out hate. And the most important thing that matters every day is what you're doing with your life. And he was so phenomenal and made so many sacrifices for our country, even sacrificed his life for where we are now and moving forward. And hey, Kyle, today that brings me back to the quote that I wanted to talk about today. It's a quote by perhaps some known as the toughest man on earth. His name is Jocko Willink. And he is a former Navy SEAL, and he goes in and he works with corporate groups and trains. Like, he lived with it's the guy that owns he's married to Sarah Blakely, the girl who owns Spanx. I can't remember his name, but anyway, he went and lived with them for like 30 days and also worked out with Tim Ferriss. And really, it's just about changing lifestyle and changing attitudes. And one of the things that he says is discipline equals freedom. I see Kyle, you're on here. Kyle, write me a note. Tell me what that means to you. What does discipline equals freedom mean to you? And do you agree with that or disagree? When I think about discipline equals freedom, what we can have sometimes is a really negative reaction to the word discipline. Sometimes we think of discipline as punishment, and we have a negative association with it. Maybe when we were kids and our parents said, you're going to get disciplined, or you're going to get disciplined for that. But no, that's not what discipline is. Discipline is having the guts and the habit to do things on the days when you don't feel like it. That's what discipline is. It's being able to see the long picture and play the long game and look far into the distance and being able to make your now equal what it takes to get to that long picture, the long game. And so, for instance, I do agree with what he says. And somebody brought up a good point. Catherine said, I agree with it as long as it's not legalistic. So I agree with that. And if you're living under this thing where you're trying to always play by the rules and you're trying to get it right every time, that is not freedom. And I don't think it's discipline either, personally. But you can have this thing where I'm going to sit down, actually. I'm going to do this. Okay, bear with me for a second. I'm just trying to find the light. So I just got back from working out, and so my arms are shaking. I haven't had anything to eat. So you guys are having to suffer through that. But anyway, so I agree with that. If your discipline that you're finding is just a big old long set of laws and you're feeling stuck under that, that is not discipline and it's not freedom. What I'm talking about is the discipline to make decisions now that will allow you to have freedom later. And when I first heard this quote, I was like, I don't know if I agree with that. But the more I look at it, the more I see examples in our life of being able to do that. For instance, let's talk about money. If you have the discipline now to put in $100 a month in your bank account or in a savings account or an investment account or $50 a week or whatever it is, $25 a week, you are going to reap the freedom that comes from that later on. So that discipline of being able to put that money in that savings account is going to give you the freedom that you want later on. If likewise, if you are disciplined to go to the gym and keep your body healthy and strong, that is going to give you a much greater range of freedom for your later life when, that's part of the reason that we work out is so that our joints will be strong and our bones will be strong and to fight osteoporosis. If you're a woman, that is one of the main reasons that you can work out is to fight that thing that comes and tries to limit your mobility and limit the things that you can do with your body. But if you're working out, and you're staying healthy, then you're going to have more freedom in that. Okay, Kyle says, right off the top of my head, I'd say discipline equals freedom because discipline eliminates making decisions that will compromise your goals. Ooh, that is so good. You got to go train with Aaron now. Have a great day. Okay, you too. See you later. Have fun. Have fun being disciplined. Kyle is one of the most disciplined I know. He does 2-a-days every day, you guys. He works out twice a day. But you're right, you just make the one decision. That's all you have to make is the one decision to be disciplined, the one decision to work out, and then you don't have to make all of the other decisions that go with that. Like, do I feel like working out today? What am I going to wear to work out today? What am I going to do? It makes one decision, and that is your commitment. And I think that's awesome. That was a good point about it. Likewise, let's say if you are making the disciplined decision to eliminate a lot of things from your budget, like that people have right now. Let's say if you decide, hey, we're going to go lean and mean, we're going to get rid of cable, and we're going to not drink coffees out, and we're going to do this and that, that's going to give you more financial freedom in the end. And or let's say decisions in your life regarding college. So let's say in school, you are disciplined enough to finish your work. You're in high school and you're finishing your homework and you're doing your things and you're being disciplined in doing your work to the best of your ability. That's going to give you more freedom in which college can I choose. If you are going to be getting bad grades and stuff, you're not going to be able to have the same kind of choice that someone who's been disciplined in their thing is. Now, I'm working on discipline myself. It's something that I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to, oh, there's Sweetie. I saw a tail. Here she comes. There she is. Sweetie is 16 years old. Can you believe it? She's still running around here. Like, we thought she wouldn't be here that long, but she's still here. But I was going to say, likewise, in life choices. If you are having an undisciplined life choice to, you're like, let's say you're a teenager and you're like sneaking out, running around, making bad decisions, you're going to bear the consequences of those decisions. And it's not that they're life ending, but they will limit and restrict your freedoms when you get out in the world, and they will restrict your choices that you're going to be able to make. So, to me, I do agree with this, and I do agree with the fact that you can't be legalistic in your discipline, but at the same time, it gives you freedom to develop that discipline in your life. It's something I'm trying to do too, is develop the discipline of commitment, develop the discipline of having a quiet time every day, develop the discipline of setting aside time for thinking, develop the discipline of reading, develop the discipline of listening. These are all disciplines. There's 12 disciplines, and I wish I could tell you them all, but I can't. But those are good disciplines to have. The discipline of holding your tongue when you should be listening and not saying everything that you feel like. So those are all good disciplines to have, and they're all things that I believe are going to give you freedom in the long run. So anyway, if you have any thoughts about it and how this applies in your life, I would love for you to write it in the comments. Tell me what this means to you and how you would apply it in your own life, because I'm really curious to see how you see this played out in your life. Also, this is just a side note, I'm going to be reading this book in February, and this book is called Uninvited. It says, Living Loved When You Feel Less Than, Left Out, and Lonely. I've just heard this is a phenomenal book. I heard the podcast on it by Lisa Turkhurst with Dale Partridge on Startup Camp. I thought it was so phenomenal. I was like, I've got to read that book. So if you want to read with me, I'm going to start reading it in February. And I'm just inviting you to just read along with me. Nothing formal, nothing. We can talk about it. We can maybe put up some post about it and talk about what you're getting out of it, what God's showing you about rejection. So it's all about being rejected. And it says the enemy wants us to feel rejected and left out and lonely than less than. Rejection steals the best of who I am by reinforcing the worst of what's been said to me. So we take one thing that was the worst thing that somebody said to you, and we multiply that and extrapolate it out over our lives, and that becomes our rejection and our identity. And this is about getting over that and living a life that's loved. So I invite you to come read this with me, Uninvited by Lisa Turkhurst. You can get it on Amazon. It's probably Prime. I don't know, but I'm going to start reading it February 1st. So if you want to read with me, get your book and we'll read together, okay? All right, I love you guys. Have an awesome day. May your minds be fierce, your heart strong, and your spirit kind. And tell me how you're getting disciplined. I love to hear it. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.